and we saw the exploits of Lucifer. Then we went to Sodom and Gomorrah, and we saw the contention between Abraham and God. And it did not stop there. We saw Moses grappling with Jannes, Jambres, and Dathan, and it did not stop there. Our own Christ is tempted, being told, if you only agree to worship me, the entire world will be yours. And Christ says, no, the only one to be worshipped. And it did not stop there. Even our own Christ was betrayed on the basis of 30 pieces of silver. But there are good men throughout the ages who have demonstrated by word and deed that when the chips are down, they are prepared to pay the ultimate price. That is how I understood the story recorded in the book of Daniel, the story of 4 young men, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, known to us much more famously as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When they were performing in the household of Nebuchadnezzar, they were given different names. They were told to worship an idol made 6 cubits wide, 6 cubits long. And they were told, you've got to worship it, and they refused. And a fire was lit 7 times over. And the Bible records that those who threw them into the fire were consumed immediately. But when they went in there, they said, the God that we worship will rescue us. But even if he does not, we shall not bow unto you. And within a few minutes, we are told that there was a 4th man in the fire. And Nebuchadnezzar said, but I threw in 3 men, but I now see 4, and the 4th one is like a son of the gods. We must always create an environment where the 4th man comes like a son of the gods. And that we can only do by resisting that which is wrong at all critical times. But like Luther King used to say, before the victory is won, men who are righteous and women who are righteous will be called all manner of names. But do not be deterred. Is it not Winston Churchill who said, you can never realize your goal if you turn to throw a stone at every dog that barks? Let the dogs bark, but you move forward ever, backward never. We are being told that there is something happening in Sodom and Gomorrah, but the divine injunction to the wife of Lot is that you shall not look back, because if you look back, you shall become a salt of stone. The choice is ours. The choice is as clear as it was in the day of Joshua. When it is recorded in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, it says, when you were across the river, your grandfathers worshipped idols, Terah, Nahor. And when you came into the land of the Amorites, you also found their gods. Choose you now, whether you shall worship the God of your fathers across the river or the God of the Amorites in whose lands you live. As for me and my house, I shall worship the Lord. That question is an eternal question. We must make a choice. The choices are not easy, but I know men and women who have made those choices. Stephen, the first Christian to be martyred, made such a choice. The question is, you are here today. What choices are you making today? Are you making the difficult choice of doing that which is right and good because it is just good to do that which is right and good? Are you enticed by the latter-day things that we see on a daily basis? Because I know that I have many friends who have helicopters. But the beauty of it that when the helicopter flies, it must stop, comes down. I know many friends who have cars such as Lamborghini and Porsche and Mercedes-Benz. But the last time I checked, the Mercedes-Benz stops and he gets out of it and gets into his house of gold and goes into his bed of gold. But even in the bed of gold, there is no sleep. He has to induce sleep by using tablets, and even then sleep refuses to come. I know many friends who can afford all the good food in the world, caviar and all the good meat, but their appetite since disappeared They've got to eat things to induce appetite. And even when they are induced, it does not come. But I know other friends who are not so materially endowed. Or they don't need soup to sharpen their appetite. No. They were born ready. You bring forth the food and they consume it. They don't need it. I know poor friends who do not have beds of gold, but even when they sleep on the floor, they sleep soundly for 8 hours. And they don't have nightmares, they have sweet dreams which they have forgotten in the morning. I know friends who have nothing, they have no television, they only play drafts, and they enjoy it so thoroughly. They don't take out an insurance, no they don't. God is their insurance. And there is a way in which the God that we worship has a way of turning all these things in a positive way. And that is why I look forward to the day when we shall have in leadership men and women who love this country. I remember an old man with whom I had the privilege of working for a short time, former president of Tanzania, Julius Kambarage Nyerere. On the day that he left office, after 24 years in office, it is reported he had only 8,000 equivalent of United States dollars in his account. That is just about the amount that our MCA uses over a weekend. Mwalimu Nyerere, after 24 years, that is all he had. With a single house in Dar es Salaam and another one in Butiama, our MCAs and our governors within 4 years have 80 and 40 houses. And if you look at them, they have expanded so exponentially that even suits can no longer fit some of them. If you look at them, they are even running away. Has it ever occurred to you that our leaders are running away from something? They are running away from themselves. When they go to the barber shop, the first thing they ask for, our men, dye my hair that it may not be white. If God divinely said that when you grow old, your hair turns gray, why are you running away from your age?